Very good evening to all of you. As Madhu said, this instrument is called Jalatharang, and the etymology of this instrument is Jal means water and Tarang means music. So hence it means music coming out of water. So before I talk about what I'm going to be performing, I thought I'd talk about the instrument as such for a couple of minutes, since this is rarely seen and played. So as you see, this instrument has three components to it. One is of course these bowls that you see in front of me. The second is water, and third is technically a bamboo stick. But I actually recently found these chopsticks when I was dining at a Japanese restaurant and found it quite fancy. And I also realized that these sticks give a much shriller and a higher sound than a bamboo stick. So when I hit it with this stick and when I hit it with this, the sound is much higher. So I thought, I could go ahead and listen to this. So these cups that you see are made of a porcelain material called pinyan, and the reason why it's used is relatively a harder material than its equivalent. So when you actually hit it with a stick at a high speed, it is a higher possibility that it doesn't break. But people like me are talented enough to break cups like these as well. And the other, I think in my personal opinion, a reason why this instrument is not pursued as actively as other instruments is the logistic issues that are involved in it. One, this instrument is not readily available in any musical store that you may see. So these cups are things that I have found by purchasing them in various crockery stores in Chennai. So in fact, these three cups were given to me by my guru, and the other things I randomly bought in different crockery stores. I actually went ahead, hitting all the cups they had, and they were almost about to chase me out. Yeah. So, and the other thing is also that, as some of you would be knowing, in Carnatic music there are 16 different notes. So ideally you should be having 16 different cups for each variation of Rishabham and Jalatharang and things like that. But most often there are logistic issues, you might not be able to get all the cups. So what performers mostly end up doing is, when they play songs, they choose songs that have similar notes so that they don't have to spend a lot of time on stage pouring and taking water and all that. So in the interest of time, what I have also done is I've chosen two ragams. First one is going to be Hamsadvani, followed by Hamsanadam. And the reason why I chose these two ragams is because they have similarity of notes. So for example, if you start your performance with a ragam like Maya Madava Gaule, then you move on to your next song, which is probably based on a ragam like Kalyani. You will, except for the sa pa sa, you will have to end up changing every other note. So it's going to take that much time to set on the stage. So performers usually want to avoid doing that, which is why they choose similar note ragams. So what I'm also going to be doing is, at the end of my Hamsanadam, I'm also going to be playing a film song in the same ragam, just to show that this instrument can be used in film music. In fact, it has been used in a lot of old Tamil and Hindi film songs. So I'm going to do a little bit of demonstration here. Most of my cups are already set. And so I've kind of set, yeah.
So if you have all the 16 cups, then you don't have to do any change.
Yeah, because then you pour water, you keep it ready, then you really don't have to have this problem. You can just replace that cup. But in a lot of situations it doesn't happen. There could be a lot of reasons why you might not be able to get all 16 cups. 16 cups, ideally if they are in the same size, then there's no problem. There are cups bigger than this as well that I've seen. So just to avoid those logistic issues, you want to be cautious. Okay. So I have set most of my notes here in Hamsadvani, except for my Rishabham, because I want to kind of show how I bring it to that note. So basically Hamsadvani is Sari ka pan Sari actually in Pratimadhyamam. So the instrument is based on two foundational principles. One is bigger the size of cup, lower the pitch, and vice versa. That's principle one. Principle two is more the amount of water in a cup, lesser the pitch, and vice versa. So based on these two principles, various permutations and combinations emerge, and you use those combinations to kind of set the instrument. So this is right now in Ma, and this cup is empty. So if I pour water in it, the pitch reduces from Ma to Re, and that is what I'm going to show you now. So now it's actually somewhere near Ga. So I pour more water to bring it down to Re. So now it's in Re. So that's how you kind of make the water level adjusted for every single cup. If you are lucky, you don't have to, the kind of scale, depending on the kind of scale you use and the ragam you use, some cups you don't have to necessarily pour water because they're already in that note, it just so happens. So for this particular ragam, I've just been lucky, I don't have to worry about this cup. Yes.
So each cup has a range.
Yes, each cup has a range. The range will depend till to the extent till which you can pour water. So right now this whole set of cups is set in G scale, and if I want to either reduce the scale or increase the scale, then I might probably have to make this my Sa, this my Re. So the whole pattern kind of shifts either to the right or to the left, whichever way you want. Yes.
So, how many scales can you put?
I have tried.
The long setup.
I think you can even play it as it's just like a human voice, right? So it has the same restrictions as a human voice. But I have tried my ranges from F, which is 4, to A sharp, which is 6.5. Yeah. Yes.
Being an engineer, I'm just curious. So ideally you can design cups so that you don't have to pour water and the waste frequency itself is you have all the
Yeah, then the only thing is the sample of your experimentation with the cups just goes so much wider. So based on my personal experience, the minute these crockery shop guys see me clicking 1 or 2 cups, they just come running to me saying So I've not really been that lucky to hit every cup in the crockery store. Maybe if I do that, I'm sure it's possible that I can form a scale where I don't have to pour water in any of the cups. It's possible, but the probability of that happening is extremely low. Yeah. It's also an issue of time.
last question.
Yeah.
Can you pour any other liquid other than water?
Well, if your any other liquid refers to something like oil, yes you can, but then oil is slightly denser than water. So the quantity of oil versus quantity of water in a cup, oil will be so much lesser. Yeah.
What do you want to use, Sesha?
About that, I'm not sure. I haven't tried. So I'm going to start off with Vata Ganapati in Hamsavani and then move on to Banturi Piccolo in Hamsanadam, and towards the end I'll play a film song in Hamsanadam. this is not a full song though, just for the interest of time, just playing the first two paragraphs. So what I'm going to be demonstrating now is, this is based on Hamsatvani, and I'm going to change this to a different ragam. And as I said, these two ragams have most of their notes common. So the next ragam, Hamsanadam, that I'm going to be playing, the only difference is it doesn't have a ga, which Hamsadvani has, but it has a ma. So all that I have to do is take the ga and insert the ma. But sometimes it can be very simple. I just have to take this cup and replace it with a ma. But I don't have a ready-made ma. So what I do here is, this cup is already filled with water, and this cup does not have water. And if you remember, when I hit this cup at the first time before filling water, it was at one particular note. That's the note I want, which means that I have to empty this cup and make this ma. And if I make this ma, then which means I need a re. So where will I go for a re? So I make my gantaram, which is my ga, as my re, because this cup is empty. So I pour water, the pitch comes down. And that's what I'm going to do to shift the ragam. Another thing is, I have now set the main scale of my song, but the song also has the lower notes and the higher notes which needs to be set. So if I change it here, obviously means I have to change it here. But thankfully, my cups in this scale are such that I just have to replace them with these empty cups because they're already in that note in that scale. So my job becomes that much simpler. Yes.
So usually when people play violin,
Yeah.
they say, you need someone playing the talam next to you, or percussionist, so that you can
Right.
keep track of the beat.
Yes. Yeah.
Does this need someone like it, or?
Yes, preferably yes. Would love to have someone. It will be that much more accurate. Otherwise, it's like a mental calculation that I need to do.
So it's not like